A History of PC Gaming Part 3. Part 3 as in, if you haven't seen Parts 1 and 2 yet, what the heck are you doing on Part 3? Go ahead and check out Parts 1 and 2 in the cards above me. Now, let's get to it. I promised you all a great deal of Half-Life coverage because you grilled me for not including it in Part 2, so here goes. And okay, I know it was released on Windows in 1998, which is actually 2 years outside of our timeline, but that's besides the point. Half-Life was a huge success. By November 2004, the game had sold over 8 million copies and was making its rounds on early consoles as well. Its unique gameplay consisted of uninterrupted cutscenes, making for a full-fledged first-person experience. The overwhelming support for third-party modifications of the original game is what eventually led to the creation of Counter-Strike, which I discussed in Part 2. In the year 2000, the turn of the millennium, The Sims was released for the PC. I still have my original copy of the game. Minimum requirements were a CPU with a clock speed of at least 233 megahertz, I mean, come on, 32 megabytes of RAM, that's megabytes not gigabytes, and a video card with at least 2 megabytes of dedicated memory. Wow. I apologize to anyone this may offend in advance, but I cannot go through the year 2001 without mentioning the beta version of Runescape, which manifested itself into pay-to-play and free-to-play variants by March 29th, its quote-unquote official release date. This one, I'll admit, hits close to home. I grew up playing this when the game window was only 40% of the total screen real estate. It carried a unique medieval-esque aura and was role-playing, which, I mean, come on, it's role-playing. People could level up individual skills, roam the world, and complete quests, and customize their characters to their liking. I'm using past tense here because RuneScape 3, the third implementation of RuneScape, is just blah. Old school is where it's at. The Medal of Honor franchise made its PC debut in 2002 with the introduction of Allied Assault, critically acclaimed for its accurate and breathtaking renditions of Omaha Beach and other battle sites in both France and Germany during World War II. The online multiplayer experience was also a great one. Game modes such as Deathmatch and Capture the Flag were among the favorites. Serious Sam also peaked in popularity by this time, with the first encounter from 01 and the second encounter of 02 resulting in various console ports in later years. Serious Sam was a personal favorite of mine because the storyline was just weird and the guns were freaking awesome. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the successful offspring of RCT1, was also released in 02, and, well, I shouldn't have to explain this one. I mean, it's a great game. A great game. You build roller coasters, entire parks, and then, you know, blow things up. I said I'd mention it when the time came, so here it is, SimCity 4 making its rounds in 2003. This city building game featured a 3D engine and endless creative possibilities, allowing for the user to sculpt landscapes, zone and develop residential, commercial, and industrial complexes, create massive, sometimes thriving cities, and end it all with just a few clicks. I'm talking volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, Armageddon, you get the point. 2003 also marked the birth of Grand Theft Auto Vice City for the PC and proved to be one of the most successful GTA releases to date. The free-roam possibilities, unique 80s music, and riveting and also culturally accurate storyline set Vice City apart from other games on both the PC and console platforms. Okay, 2004. Quite a lot happened during this year. We had games like Doom 3, Half-Life 2, Unreal Tournament, Need for Speed Underground 2, The Sims 2, Counter-Strike Source, and Far Cry all hit the shelves during the same time. I'm sure most of you have played most of these at some point, so I'm not going to bother stating the obvious, but what I will do is elaborate briefly on World of Warcraft, which was released on November 23rd for Australia and North America, and February 11th the following year for much of Europe. Like RuneScape, World of Warcraft is an MMORPG, or massive multiplayer online role-playing game. I'm sure many of you are offended because I just compared those two games, but just bear with me here. Players could ultimately control the fates of their own characters submersed in a world surrounded by other online players. While the game had a defined storyline of sorts, it invited players to think outside the box and develop various skills through unique user-defined means. That goes without saying, WoW remains a very popular game even today. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was released for Windows in 2005, as was Quake 4, which was based on the Doom 3 game engine from the previous year. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Lockdown hit the shelves in 2006 and marked the first installment of the Rainbow Six series. Typical of Clancy's video games, the user could control individual characters apart from their own through each level. A cool point here is that much of what was removed from the console version of the game, released a year prior, was re-implemented into the PC version. Good game, consoles. Good game. Just Cause was also released during this year, which would soon lead to the development of Just Cause 2 in 2010 and Just Cause 3 by the end of 2015. PC gaming icons The Witcher and BioShock were released to the PC in 2007, as was Resident Evil 4 finally ported, all three of which were very successful across multiple platforms. But can it run Crysis? The term coined after the rigorous Crysis release in the same year marked a significant demand for extra personal computer horsepower. At this point, game graphics were taking off, and hardware at the same time struggled to keep the frame rates above acceptable limits. Fallout 3 made its first appearance in 2008, as did Left 4 Dead. Watch out for the tank! and GTA 4. That game was just great. Dead Space was also released during October of this year for the PC, in which the player controlling Isaac Clarke battles hordes of necromorphs. This one was quite scary, no doubt about it. The year 2009 was all about League of Legends, the famous battle arena summoner experience still played by many today, and Minecraft, the free world sandbox with endless possibilities in sight. While the official release didn't happen until 2011, the classic version struck the interest of many developers, leading to the development of Mojang by Minecraft creator Marcus Persson in the same year. I should also note that the popular games The Sims 3 and Batman Arkham Asylum were released in 2009 as well. While these games attracted entirely different audiences, both were critically acclaimed, Arkham Asylum for its epic storyline and The Sims 3 for its, I don't know, furniture and stuff. Nah, I'm just kidding. I played Sims 3. Okay, we're getting very close to the present time. 2010 marked the release of several 2s. Just Cause 2, Bioshock 2, Dead Rising 2, and Mass Effect 2, all of which were very successful sequels and, I suppose, prequels to the third iterations of each of their series. Ooh, that ain't right. Fallout New Vegas and Sid Meier's Civ 5 were also epic releases during this year, mind you, but they didn't end in 2, so, you know, that wouldn't have worked out. But I have played both, and as a result, I am big fans of both. We're getting awfully close to modern AAA titles, folks, but I'm gonna save those for part 4 because that's a lot to cover in such a short amount of time. If you did enjoy part 4, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Check out part 1 and 2 if you haven't already and you just completely ignored what I said in the beginning of the video and you're still watching this one for whatever reason. Give the video a thumbs down if you feel the complete opposite or if you hate everything about life, and stay tuned for that really old AMD PC video, aka the potato, that I'll be showing and uploading very soon. This is Science Studio. Thanks for learning with us.